Welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be introducing my motorhome project. This is a 1996 Toyota Coaster. This bus started off as a passenger bus when I first got it a couple of months ago, and I've already started the fit out and pretty much almost there, just the finishing touches required. So this is the kitchen. The kitchen consists of two cabinets. Got the one with the drawers and the one with the door on it, and here was some empty space that was left between the drawers and the edge of the kitchen. So I have a door here. This is going to be a slide out pantry. For all the doors that open, I've used this type of lock to keep them shut while driving. So the way this works is you just press the button in and it locks it, press it in again, unlocks basically. And this is what the inside of the cabinet looks like right now. This is all going to get covered later on. But yeah, that's how the doors operate, and these locks are to keep the drawers from opening while you drive. And for the overhead, I've used the same type of lock, and this is what the inside of it looks like. This is the range hood here, and behind it they've got a vent that pulls the air up. This has a fan in it built in, but these fans help get the air up. There's going to be eventually a duct running from here through to there. The first bit of construction of this overhead cupboard was this frame here, which is basically a rectangular frame that goes all around, and this is a support in the middle. And this was screwed in to the top. There is a cross member on the roof that goes that way. This was screwed straight into that. And then there's these plywoods on either end of it which help hold it to the edge. These ones go into the other main part of the roof and they screw in straight into there. As you can see here, these are joined. And then this bit of plywood holds the front to the back basically. This is what the range hood looks like from underneath. It's got a built-in LED light and two switches here. One's for the ventilation and the other's for the light. The plywood here is eventually going to get covered with something that's grease resistant. And here's the range hood vent from the outside, which you saw earlier, the dual fans. And here we've got the main water tank level indicator, which shows how much water's in the tank currently. I'll show you how that works in a bit. And here is our sink. The plumbing for the sink is underneath, I'll show you. If we move down here, here is all the plumbing for the sink. This is the gas for the stove, and this is the drain tube which goes down into the floor, and that feeds into a grey water tank under the bus. And the hot and cold water for the sink comes from the tank at the back. And now moving back to the last part of the kitchen is these two cabinets, and this is what the inside of them currently looks like. The wiring here is for the downlights. I'll explain that in a second. And so you've got a shelf there, and the second door opens up to the bottom section. So the wiring we've got here is as follows. This one is from the range hood. This powers both the LED and the fans. This one here goes to the electric vent at the back, and that's hooked to the battery currently. And this is what feeds the downlights, which is also going to be hooked up to the battery. And this vent here at the back has also got LED lights built in. It's one of them, the types that opens, so you can open the hatch at the top and close it. This was installed by cutting a hole in the roof first, and then cutting a hole in the insulation underneath, and finally cutting a hole on the inside and putting in the two pieces from the top and from the bottom, which screw together. This fan doubles as an extractor fan and can also bring air in. You can switch it here. For the back section, I've currently got two downlights. This is the frame I built for the bed. This frame was built entirely from rectangular hollow section, and I've made this hatch here that opens for storage. So you can see the frame here that goes all around. It is bolted to the floor and bolted to the sides of the bus where the old seats used to bolt, so it's pretty sturdy. And here we've got the water tank, a stainless steel tank. This here is where it fills in from. Actually, sorry, this is where the air comes out of from, so air ventilation on the other side, opposite corner, is where it fills in. Down here we've got the water pump, which has its own little feed from there. That right there is the water level sensor, which is wired up to the indicator in the kitchen, which I showed earlier. This pump feeds the sink and the hot and cold water, which still hasn't been completed, and it feeds the shower as well, which I'll show you in a second. Space here was made to house a fridge or possibly a cabinet, haven't decided yet. And down here we've got the emptying port for the cassette toilet, which just opens as such, and there's your tank in there, and that pulls out. Basically, that's the water feed for the toilet. And finally we move on to the bathroom. So I've installed this door here. It's like a foldable style door. This is to save space because the distance between the kitchen and the bathroom doesn't really allow for an opening door. Would be quite annoying, so this was the best option. This is the shower base, which has the drain plug in the middle. This also feeds into another grey water tank separate to the sink. And here we've got a rotating cassette toilet, which I've mounted 90 degrees this way. And this is an electric flush type toilet, so you just hit the button there and that pumps water from the tank and flushes down. Here we've got the shower with the shower head, and this is the hot and cold. And for the lighting, we've got a little light bar here, an LED, and this is a little extractor fan that pulls air out. This was added after the bathroom was completed, and a hole was cut in the plastic paneling on the inside, and a hole was cut in the roof as well to match, and the two pieces were clamped together. The construction process of the whole bathroom began with the shower base, which was glued into the floor and waterproofed. Then the frame on either end was made, basically a wooden frame with wood going across that way and down at the back and front, and pieces that curve around the edge. So that was done, and this plastic paneling was stuck on top, and the curved panel has an aluminium piece behind it. This aluminium piece helps it stay in place and not want to naturally come forward. On the outside of the bathroom window is this piece of acrylic. This is to block the view of the back of the window and the back of the fridge. These here are the original air conditioning ducts. This section of the duct was left on all the way up to the bathroom and was cut there, and what this does is keeps the car's AC when you're driving available all the way to back here with these vents as well, so it cools more of the car. It was done on this side as well with the same vents. Now for the roofing, the original light here was left alone, and the speakers, same thing. And I've installed these downlights here, so the front section has also got a pair, the kitchen's got a pair of downlights, and the back section has two. This originally had a similar finish to this with a similar color, and the three panels were taken out and reupholstered to have this fabric on top of them. This is a bit tougher and looks a lot nicer than the original stuff. And the flooring was constructed with floorboards. These are basically floating floorboards, and they go over the original floor. The actual plywood panel at the back had to be replaced because that wasn't in good shape. But apart from that, the rest of the floor is solid, so it's covered and waterproofed, and this was put on top. Moving to the front of the bus, this here was meant to be the dining area, and I've built this frame out of rectangular hollow sections similar to the bed frame at the back. This was supposed to fold out and cover the panel of wood on top would fold out, cover the area in between, and that would be a bed as well. Because this bus seats 4, it needs to sleep 4 as well, ideally. So what's going to be happening though is this is going to go, and we're going to have a sofa bed here which folds out, and a dining table would probably be optional, so possibly have a fold down dining table, but not sure yet. So stay tuned in the next episode, maybe, or next few episodes, we'll be figuring that out. In front of that, we've got this seat here. It's a double seat. This is off a later model Toyota van, and this is, from a safety point of view, much better than the original seat. It's got the built-in seat belts and headrests. So this was put in place and secured the same way the old seat was, into the wall and into the floor, like it's supposed to, in 4 points basically. The driver's seat is still the same, but the passenger seat has also been replaced. The seat belt's still the original, so that's all still the same, just the actual seat itself was replaced with one with a headrest and a slightly more comfortable type of seat. And finally we get to the engine hatch. Under here is a 1HZ 4.2 litre diesel Toyota engine, one of the most reliable engines out there. Here we've got the Toyota 1HZ engine. It's in great shape and it's low kilometers, which is good. This particular one happens to be very healthy. This particular one happens to only have 234,000 kilometers on it, which is nothing for this type of engine. As for the gearbox, it's a 5-speed manual transmission. There will be a video on how to install this radio in this type of car. And now I'll bring you around to the outside of the bus. So there's nothing much really been done to the side of it, and basically to the whole outside. Here we've got the water filling door. It's currently locked. Here I've got the key, and this is what it looks like on the inside. That is what the blue hose attaches to, which earlier you saw coming out of the top of the tank, and then in here is where you fill it in from. And around this side there's not much to be seen either, so I'll go around to the back. And this is the back of the bus. This door is what opens up, and there you've got the bed at the back. And that is everything for today's video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked the content or if you found this inspirational. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. That's what keeps me going, and really appreciate the support. We've got a couple of other cars, a few more projects to be revealed soon, so stay tuned and ring the bell icon if you don't want to miss any of the new videos and you want to see more progress of this bus and a couple of the other cars. Thank you.